right, so we're in the process of going live. It kind of stutters for a little while, but the minute it goes red right there, we are definitely live. We're in the process of going live.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go. Henry McClure live here in the Glass Houses studio. Larry Farmer.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to see you, my brother.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So, what did Mom make for breakfast today?
Well, today she made biscuits and scrambled eggs and bacon and sausage just for a regular breakfast. This was nothing special. It just I happened to be in town. And so that's what she.
That's what you got.
That's what she blessed us with. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
You know, when I was running Pizza Pub, you guys used to come over.
We loved it. You know, she still talks about that. I wonder if he still has that place. It's so delicious.
Oh man, I was so glad to get out of that.
Really?
Well, I talked a guy into opening up 100 of them.
Oh yeah.
And then our operating partner.
Yeah.
Blew it.
Yeah. Well, I love the place. Quite as kept. My cousin actually even worked with you as a pizza cook, and he loved the place. He didn't want to not work there anymore. So.
Well, let's not talk about Pizza Pub because that's a very sore subject for me.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We'll skip on.
So let me ask you. Now, I came home eventually kind of the long way home because I didn't want to raise my daughter in Los Angeles.
Okay, gotcha.
So what brings you home? You always come home.
Yeah. Well, what brings me home is heart. And it's ironic because this is the heartland, right?
Right.
But the reason they said that is because people from here have a stronger moral fiber. And that's something I discovered in traveling so much. You traveled a lot. You worked other places all across the country.
11 different towns.
Yeah, I've traveled the world, and it's so interesting. Sometimes heart even acts as a translator. Like just having that good vibe, people can feel that.
The energy read.
Yeah, being where we're from, that's something that's an asset.
Well, so I've only been over to London and, kind of somewhere, in and around London, out to Salisbury, Bath.
Yeah.
I didn't get, so you've been worldwide. Tell me, what was your favorite place in the world that you traveled to?
Well, ironically, it all comes full circle back to here. You always think, okay, I want to go travel, see everything else, but when you've been a lot of places, you realize that it's the quality of the people and the energy that makes it memorable. So this is still my favorite place, Topeka, Kansas.
No, but worldwide.
Okay. Well,
one place.
Yeah, I was married to a European artist, so that takes you all over.
What part of Europe?
It's Yugoslavia, but it's Macedonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so,
Now, what language did she speak besides the language of love?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You mean I think it was.
How long were you married?
I was married 9 years.
Okay.
I knew her 13. She still has a gallery in St. Louis.
Really? No, wait, I've talked to her on the phone.
Yeah. So here's the deal, man. She spoke, obviously, Yugoslavian. I think a little bit of German, some Italian, Greek, and Serbian, and English. So that's why I think they call us dumb Americans sometimes.
Because of the amount of languages they can speak?
Well, not just that. It's just a different worldview because our news is censored, typically. And for instance, there was a genocide in their country, and they showed it on television. Like, they don't censor the news. So it's kind of weird, but.
Well, I think there's less censorship now.
Yeah.
Well, I think because when Elon Musk bought Twitter, now X, I think it changed the world.
Yeah, it did. I'm not sure if it's for the better. We all have more access to information, but it's just like a saw or a hammer. What do you do with that information?
Yeah, I don't know the downside of it. I mean, I think there's less porn.
Well,
now that he bought it?
Well, now that he bought it. Oh, yeah.
There's less, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. There's less.
Well, laughter's the best medicine.
Right.
Okay, so.
But we were getting back to the places I visited. Mexico, Canada, Dominican Republic, Dubai, France, all of these places.
Dubai, talk about that.
Well, ironically, Vegas has the same climate.
Really?
So if you don't live in Vegas, like right now, I would recommend 90% of people not going to Dubai because it's the hot season. They call it the hot season. But if you're in a climate like Vegas, then of course you're acclimated.
You get it.
Perfectly. It's dry heat. So.
Yeah, that dry heat. I've been through that dry heat.
Yeah, you know about that.
In Arizona.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's that same Phoenix. Like, it's treacherous.
Well, when I lived in Long Beach, I lived on the ocean,
Uh-huh.
and I'd fly over to Phoenix to meet with the Foot Locker people.
Okay.
And
I remember that. I remember you saying that.
yeah, and man, it just like your body gets out of whack with so much heat.
Yeah, it does.
You
You gotta
know-
get used to it. Well, I played a lot of sports, so it's great for my joints, no inflammation. That's why I actually live in Las Vegas up to this point. But I'll be returning here a lot more frequently and very soon. We got a lot of big projects going on in the Midwest region in general, and specifically Topeka. I'm actually, my phone number has never changed. I've been on the West Coast 10 years, LA 3 years, Vegas.
Yeah, why should it?
It's still 785, and it's cost me some business actually because people don't pick the phone up.
You know, I gave my phone number to an associate. She was going to be line one.
Mm-hmm.
She was an administrative. Actually, this girl could have sold real estate. She could have just done whatever she put her mind to.
Right,
Just that smart.
Yeah.
But so I gave her my phone due to kind of like a perk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she had my number when I moved back to Topeka in 2000,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just got another cell phone.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake.
Oh, really?
Well, because we didn't work about 6-7 months,
Gotcha.
we split up.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, it wasn't a relationship.
Gotcha.
It was a purely business relationship.
I understand. Yeah, no worries. Gotcha. But yeah, I'm loyal to the soil. I'm never gonna, well, I'm not gonna say never. You never say never, but I'm very committed to that phone number in this area and the energy and the people,
Speaking of phone numbers.
Yeah. Who's that, me?
No, that's me. But I'm not picking it up.
Oh, okay, good.
I got something going on.
Gotcha.
All right, so this is your show.
Yeah.
Thank you for going live with me.
My
I was
pleasure.
hoping your mom was coming in.
She was gonna come in. She cooked the breakfast, so she's gonna rest from that. She worked overnight at the mission. I was telling Henry before this, for those of you who are watching, that my mom had worked at Frito-Lay. I always say 44 years because it was like 43 years and 200 days. But she worked at Frito-Lay 43 years, 200-some days. She retired for 6 months, and then she's been overnight at the mission, Topeka Rescue Mission Hope Center for Women, for 6 years overnight. And she takes care of my 92-year-old grandmother.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where I get my heart for philanthropy and helping people from.
You were raised right.
Well, I'd like to think so. Yeah. But it takes a village. It wasn't just her. It was my coaches, my teachers, like a lot of different people.
I'll give a lot of credit to Mike Reed, who was my gymnastics coach that I respected.
Yes.
And then there was Maurice Martin.
Okay.
He was head of the Federal Highway Association.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Carter
Yeah.
appointed him.
Yeah.
But I mowed all the fields at Lake Sherwood working for him.
That's beautiful.
And I was in 8th grade making $5 an hour.
You know what? My dad, that was one of my first businesses to give me the entrepreneurial bug. It's so funny.
You got bit by the bug.
Well, not against my will, though. My dad, Larry Bernard Farmer Sr., I'm a junior, he would go around our neighborhood. We lived over by the Boys Club on Adams, off the 25th. He would go around the neighborhood, set up lawns, and then just send me out with him with the lawnmower. And I'd get back with the money, like, yes, made $50. He said, you made $25. I'm like, what do you mean?
You're a mower.
He's like, you're the mower, I'm the manager. So then, I'm like, but I did the work. He's like, but I set him up. And I learned a lot about different roles within executive, even corporate structure. Why is the CEO paid what he is?
Did you go get your own mower?
Oh, yeah. I eventually, no, here's what I learned from him. My cousin's working with me, for me. My other friend working with me, for me. And I'm doing some delegating with him. And so 1 + 1 = 1,000,
Oh, wow. Okay,
so,
I get it.
So that was the first time I learned something about that. Going back to your backflip days, the gymnastics.
Yeah.
Folks, make him post later on this
ski boot one?
ski boot backflip he did in full gear
In Reno.
on the side of a mountain in the snow. I've never seen something like that.
A fella named Dave Short got the video. He was the marketing director of Park Lane Mall in Reno.
Uh-huh.
And Charlie Moore and his friends were up from Dallas. No,
Yeah.
Charlie lived in Reno.
Reno, yeah.
I loved Reno.
Yeah.
I lived in the Peppermill Hotel Casino. At the
Yeah.
same time, I lived in Long Beach.
Yeah,
And Delta Airlines
Yeah.
was ready when you are.
yeah,
And I lived a whole different life back then.
yeah. It's ironic. You met Mars.
Yeah.
Well, this is my friend, business partner out in Las Vegas, Nevada. We call her Mars, but it's Marjorie Joyce Berea Gray. She's Filipino. There's 200,000 Filipinos in that town, so imagine the buying power. Now, her mom and her dad started the Filipino Association, Ilocano Association. Her mom, rest in peace, passed away about a year ago. But her mom's best friend, Rosita Lee, is a heavy hitter in the industry of politics and business.
In the Philippines?
No, here in America, and in the Philippines, but here in Las Vegas. They just designated a specialized area called Filipino Town. And so Mars is going to be taking over that and on her.
Sounds like a mob boss.
So it's a lot of buying power. Yeah.
Hey, so before we leave,
Yeah.
you can touch Harry Culmary's desk.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He rewrote the Philippine Constitution
Remember you told
in
me that.
'68.
Yes, he
on
told
that
me.
desk.
Yeah, he told me that. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Well,
There's energy in that desk,
yeah,
baby.
yeah. But she, the reason I was getting to her is that you were saying something about. I drew a blank. I'm having a brain fart about why we were mentioning Mars.
Well, because you love her.
Well, of course, but there was something else specific. It'll come back to me. And
It's okay.
Anyway.
So you're on Henry McClure Live. I get distracted all the time.
No, it's just because we have so much.
Do I interrupt you too much?
No.
Man, I was in a meeting the other day, and I interrupted this lady so many times.
Well, here's the deal. You have to. There's a time and a place for the interruption. Like, if you're having like a podcast segment, you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them with the interruptions, because they may be going on a little rant, and it's going to be gold, and then you interrupt their train of thought. But sometimes you got to stop someone from hanging themselves, incriminating themselves, depending on who you.
It's too late for me.
Nice.
It is too late. Man, I had this guy in here the other
Oh,
day.
that's funny.
His name's Doug Billings, and he's a conservative. They call him the next Rush Limbaugh.
Okay,
He's running for governor.
gotcha.
And I'm all proud that I get 2 million hits on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, thanks. I told him he could post on it. And he goes, I get 2 million a month on my podcast.
There's levels to this, bro. But the thing that's important that I've noticed about you with this particular is the consistency. Like, every day, routine. Every day, routine. You have to do the same thing. And then you don't have to get ready because you stay ready. So say, for instance.
Well, because it's the same Henry my whole life. I think the minute I became aware, I think I've been this guy ever since then.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to go through some things to get that awareness,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like dying from alcoholism.
Tell me about that. You told the story a little bit before, but I was trying to tell my mom before I
You
came
can
here.
probably relate because we've known each other so long.
Yeah.
And so at 4:44 in the morning, so I'm trying to get, I'm down from over 350 pounds.
Wow. That's big.
It was huge.
Getting smaller.
And I
Yeah.
still, I'm on a 3-day fast. Today's the 3rd day.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
And I don't even feel hungry.
No, it sharpens your focus. It really does.
We need something.
I'm an advocate for that. I'm an advocate for cold plunge.
Get rid of the parasites.
Yeah. Start growing our own food. My last name's Farmer, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
Well, so Reader's Digest version, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you something, not everybody's worthy of the story, but you and your mom are.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Because if anybody thinks I'm crazy,
Mm-hmm.
this would, do we gotta take that?
We'll take it. Hold on just one second. Hey, man, what's going on? You're on Henry McClure Live. Hey.
Who do we got?
This is my best friend, Tony Barksdale.
Hey, Tony.
He's been an advocate in the community for years and years and years. Not
In
just
Topeka?
in Topeka, not just with sports, but with community initiatives. He's a musician as well. And so,
He can play music in here.
yeah, you need a soundtrack. You can contract him for your soundtrack, your official soundtrack.
Yeah, for the real estate company.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was just checking with you to see if you're still over there. We were going to stop by there after we get done with this.
Yeah, I just got there surveying.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to head to the southwest line, so you can stop by out there.
All right, we'll head there. Sounds good.
Yeah, just hit me up after that. I'll let them eat real quick. Not about that for a minute, then we're going to head up that way.
All right, perfect. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, Pete.
So tell me, what kind of music's he play?
Well, jazz, contemporary, classic. He's a bass player.
I love jazz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jazz is my jam.
Here's a funny story. and then I'll tie it all together. He actually, for I think about a year, played at Patrick Mahomes' church in Lenexa. And what's ironic about that is that Nigeri Kennedy went to Topeka High School and played basketball with my niece, and then is now a 3-time All-American. She signed $1 million NIL deal with Patrick last year out of Topeka, Kansas, and she's just re-upped for 7 figures after losing in the World Series in the last game. And she pitched the whole thing. I think that's what got her. She kind of burned her arm out.
Right.
But she's probably shoo-in for Player of the Year this year, and she's right at Topeka, Kansas. Her dad, Bruce Kennedy, used to let me and my friends into the rec centers, and he's really good friends with my uncle Carl, which is my dad Larry's brother, rest in peace. But I actually was going to do a documentary on her when they went to Japan before the season because I knew how great she was, and I wanted to get that footage so I could sell it to the news outlets later. And I could not get a hold of my uncle. He moved to Dallas with his daughter, and I couldn't get a hold of my uncle to save my life and to get their information, and then they ended up going, and then she ended up turning out to be what she is, which I already knew she would be. She's incredible.
So did you see the movie Ghost?
It's been a while, but yeah.
Did you see the movie Lucy?
I think so. That one's a little older too, right?
No, it's newer than Ghost.
Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy's got, the girl that is in the Marvel movies, the Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson. She's in
Yeah,
the new.
Scarlett.
Oh, she's in the new Jurassic World that's coming out.
Yeah, Scarlett.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, she's bad.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think she has any need to be in the movie business.
No, not
I
anymore.
think she's worth like 30, 40 million.
No, but you know what? I saw her on this commercial for a nonprofit that said she was basically raised in trailer parks or something. And I'm like, isn't that interesting? He had that drive. So that's why adversity is not necessarily negative. Speaking of that, my best friend Tony Barksdale said one time, man, I kind of wish, because some stuff happened years and years ago. I won't bring names into it, but he was playing overseas, averaging like 38 points a game. He was right on the verge of going to the NBA. And he heard about one of his sons had been like not healthiest, the healthiest he could be. We heard the word from another friend of ours growing up. And he dropped everything, grabbed his emergency ticket, came and grabbed his son, and then started to work at the rec centers. He's at...
What's the emergency ticket?
Well, he had put money aside. When you play in Europe, you got an emergency ticket. So no matter what, if you need to get to the States, you don't have to wait for your next check. You grab that money.
Wow.
He just put the money
I
aside.
wonder if Banks had one of those. You know David Banks.
One of my dad's best friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Banks, I said that you don't care. You do care.
What do you mean?
Well, I want to get a meeting with the city manager to talk about the whistleblowers.
Gotcha.
And David Banks was actually the guy that did care.
Oh, okay.
But I just want follow-up. I want help from the elected officials.
Mhm.
I'd like the mayor or David or somebody that cares to help me set up a meeting. Because, see, those guys have got more juice than me.
Yeah.
Because they can fire the city manager.
Right, yeah. My dad played on his men's teams. They would go on those men's team trips.
So, David, I know you care.
Yeah.
Because people actually listen to the show.
It's good seeing you, David. You don't see me, but hopefully you see me, and then I'll see you at some point.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy, man.
But he like the German lady. Come on in.
Yeah, I remember Dave. He's a good guy. So anyway, I was getting back to the point where he said he came back, started at the rec centers, and been involved in the community.
You want to get Chris on the show?
Yeah, we'll get him on. We'll get him
All
on. He had been involved in the community ever since, and it all culminated in this article that was written by the Capital Journal. It's been almost 10 years ago now. I came out on Thanksgiving Day. It said a new brand for Topeka, where it featured Tony and I on the cover. And at the time, I was in partnership with Lewis Toyota. I had my own dealership over there, where Lewis Toyota was at, specializing in single moms and people that just gotten out of the penitentiary. And so it mentioned that we aren't really trying to brand Topeka. We just are Topeka. Like everywhere we are, we represent the area, and through the youth, because we realize we're just borrowing the earth from them. So however their minds are, however lucid they are, however they deal with problem solving, and have the resources to expand their brains, that's really what's going to change.
It's our job
Topeka.
to leave Topeka better off than the day we found it.
You said it precisely right.
That's, that's the mystery right there of our evolution of this town.
Yeah.
So do you want me to finish the story about the death moment or not?
I do.
Okay, real quickly.
Yeah, listen.
Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get back into shape. So I've got my calories down. I'm only eating 500 calories a day, but I'm drinking whatever I want.
Okay.
And I'm out of control. I'm lost. I've become that, and I'm aware of it, a moment of clarity, that I become that alcoholic that I thought I'd never become. And so did you ever meet Charlie Wilson?
I don't believe
So anyway,
so.
Charlie Wilson and I were getting ready to go on our walk at
I did meet him. I met him.
4:44 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's raining. It's on a Saturday. Wilson looks at me, and he turned around and went back down and went to bed. I went over to the bar and made vodka and Mike's Hard Lemonade, and I'm going to go watch some Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
And I took one sip of it, and my body froze. I'm downstairs now. It froze up. I couldn't breathe. I'm panicking. I've got my body's going numb, anxiety like I've never had before. And I looked at that drink and I go, that's killing me.
You just realized it. Right
Yeah,
there.
I realized it at that moment.
Yeah.
And it got really cold in my basement, really cold. And I felt like a shadow, and then I felt like something was choking me. It was just like those black goblins in Ghost.
Yes. Yes.
But they weren't going, they weren't making those noises, you know. So anyway, I didn't know whether to drink the drink and just die, quit being a coward and doing it slowly,
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
put it down and drive to the hospital, call 911, or just lay down and die. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I did set the drink down, and I didn't think it'd be good to drink anymore. But I went in and looked in the mirror, and my bathroom was going to retch and get sick. And I looked in the mirror, and I didn't know the man in the glass. And at that moment,
It's tough.
a big white light blew up in my house. Well, I forgot to tell you, it was so cold. You could see your breath. Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. That's like Ghost.
Oh, man.
Movie, yeah.
And so this white light blew up in my apartment, or my house, and I traveled through time from the Big Bang up until my 3-year-old self, and I'm outside my body.
Like real quick.
Like Lucy.
Like Lucy.
Like traveling through time.
Yeah.
It was wild. Then, like Scrooge, the ghost of drunkenness past, I had to pay for my transgressions.
Really?
So as sick as I felt the moment I felt I was dying, every time I had a negative thing in my life, and it was long, there was a lot of problems. So I was maybe outside my body, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours, I don't know. But all of a sudden, I prayed to God and I said, you know, I couldn't handle the pain anymore because I had a lot of transgressions.
Right.
And it was like that time a hand picked me up and took me up.
Wow.
And now I'm floating in the cloud, and I'm all happy.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm happy because I know Bianca's going to be fine.
Okay.
All the paperwork's in order.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going the right direction.
Right.
You know, I'm away from those goblins.
Right.
You know, and I feel like I'm getting a break.
Yeah.
You know, Henry's lucky.
It felt positive.
He's always getting a break.
It didn't feel like it was heating up. It felt like you were going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So, but I prayed, and the minute I was all happy, I floated back down in my body, and I've been this Henry ever since. You know, here I
You were
am.
happy about that, though.
That I came
Yeah,
back.
you came back.
Well, you can't. There's nothing you can say.
Yeah, well,
you know what I
that's-
mean?
yeah,
You
like-
can't control
You
it.
can't say no. Take me back.
No.
Yeah.
But I do.
That's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not everybody understands that.
Now let me ask you something. Did you
Yes,
have
sir.
a new, renewed purpose? Like, were you like, no, I have things I have to get done. Did you do a checklist right after that and get laser focused, or how did you
No,
respond?
look, the first thing I did was get back to work.
Okay.
So I just started working because, like, the biggest ways to, you know, the best asset you have is your time.
Right. You know what you always say? Time kills deals.
Time kills deals.
This man has said time kills deals. I've remembered that since the first time you said it. I said, you're right. Like, it's almost like taking something off the stove. You're going to eat it now, or it's going to get cold on you. You know?
Yeah, so your best asset's your time. And the word, let's see, what is it? There's a movie about wasted talent. No, did you see the Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
Where the Chaz Palmieri, or whatever his name is,
Mhm.
the mafia dude says, the worst thing is wasted talent.
It's true.
And that's what I was. I'm talented, but I'm wasted all the time.
Mhm.
So you're a highly functioning alcoholic until you're not.
Right. Well, do you think it's because, I got another question. Do you think the alcoholism was more of a comfort thing? Here's why I'm saying that. I was having a conversation and ended up hearing from Mark Cuban that, so it's my thought that fear kills dreams. I said, no, it's comfort. So if you have the unholy trinity of killed dreams, it's fear, comfort, and ego. And to me, ego stands for edging God out of the equation, which I refuse to do. But if you have even two of those,
I like that.
Yeah.
We ought to write that down.
Yeah. If you have
Ego, edging God out of the equation.
Yes.
We need more God in our
You
life.
heard it here first.
Right on.
So you have any two of those three, just two of those. If you have ego and fear, it won't work. If you have comfort and ego, it won't work. If you have ego and comfort, so what we need to do, I feel like, is realize with God's help we can do anything, but you can't act as if you own anything. You're in the real estate business, you're really just...
Never fall in love with real estate.
You see? You're
Never
just transferring it.
fall in love with real estate. That's better than time kills deals today. But they go together.
Yeah, they do.
But now, the new thing is ego. I like that.
Yeah, edging God out. That's exactly what we're doing.
So my alcoholism more was just to see what it'd do to you,
I see.
Yeah. Like,
So it wasn't comfort. It was just...
Oh wow, man, that's what Jack Daniels Black does to you. Ooh, let's have another one.
Let's see what this does to me.
Yeah, let's have another one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I was kind of a tourist in the drug industry,
Gotcha.
So
You know what? This may be a segue to bring Chris in.
Why is he sober?
Yeah. You good?
No, he doesn't want to come in.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
cool.
well, yes, all good. Yeah, but
Is
anyway.
he sober?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many years?
5 years sober.
All right, well, good. Well,
Yeah.
so what happens is really, and I found this out.
Mhm.
It's abstinence.
Okay.
And sobriety and abstinence are two different things.
Gotcha.
What I got was sobriety.
Mhm.
Then what I had to learn how to cope with was abstinence.
Oh, okay.
From a time management standpoint.
Okay, yeah.
Because this is a time usually I'm in the bar, and seriously, and I'm not making this up, it's about like, well, go Topeka and the chamber run this town.
Gotcha.
And so for all those that couldn't deal with them, we'd be in the bar drinking, we'd figure out how to do our deals on their own, because they've already earmarked all the economic development money.
Yeah.
So it's like today, so now I'm a friend of the Riverfront because they've been aced out. So now the Riverfront's the underdog
Interesting.
because they gave all the money to Cody for the AT&T building, Cody
Oh,
Foster.
okay. Gotcha.
But I can't even get the public to say it's Cody Foster.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't want to, what if it's not Cody Foster?
Okay, I see.
Because LLCs are a shell game.
That's true. You're just moving the shells around.
But
Yeah.
why? I did a quarter request, and I even asked Karen Hiller, it's her district, and she says, "Oh, go to the Secretary of State." Well, actually, Spencer Duncan sent me all the stuff
Gotcha.
after doing it. But why can't somebody just say it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You talk about the hocus pocus your mom's seen over all the years.
Yeah, yes, exactly. She was saying about that, like it's like a smoke and mirrors
Yeah.
thing, and a shell game. That's kind of what
Yeah.
she said. Who's doing what? If it's positive what they're doing, why can't they own it and claim it?
So here's the deal.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but here's what I say today. If it was such a good deal,
Uh-huh.
it should stand on its own.
Right.
So let's make the riverfront, let's get in there and look at the riverfront. How does it stand on its own?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I left, think about it, I went to work for the guys that own White Lakes
Wow.
in 1983.
I missed that mall. It's cool.
Oh man, it was the
Yeah.
premier center.
Yeah, I grew up there. And then Topeka Boulevard was tied to the mall. Like the mall was the whale, and the boulevard was the cleaner fish. It was like an ecosystem that was
Yeah.
all together. Yeah.
I mean, the boulevard was the,
You're doing a good job there, by the way. I think that's you, right? Like with the Whataburger, the Chick-fil-A, and the Dutch Brothers, and the.
Now, I didn't do Dutch Brothers.
But still.
But I'm all for them.
Okay.
We turned Dutch Brothers down
Okay,
to do the Whataburger deal.
gotcha.
And,
But I'm saying the synergy that occurs when you bring a certain level of business there, and you get momentum, and we need that on Topeka Boulevard.
well,
for
yeah.
sure.
And then the city of Topeka shouldn't have charged us, made us do all the improvements out on the Topeka
Oh, I
Boulevard.
didn't realize that.
$1.7 million extra to us.
I didn't realize
Because
that.
what Topeka does, they get their hooks in you.
Oh, okay.
You know, okay, you want to do this deal? Now you're going to fix the road.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
the way
realize
it's
that
gonna
that's what
be.
happened.
Yeah.
So is that what happened at, there was this Walmart on California, and then all of a sudden 25th, which ran by my mom's old house, was fixed. Did they work that into the deal?
I would have
Walmart?
to, I'm not going to speak out of school.
Okay, well, I didn't know. I just was, it sounded like the same type of.
But like when the mall came to town,
Out west?
Westridge,
Yeah, Westridge. Yeah.
they made the Simon redo from I-470 to Wanamaker and 21st to 17th on Wanamaker.
Gotcha.
They made them redo all that.
I didn't realize that, yeah. Yeah, that's
But so
interesting.
what the city does, they get their hooks in you, and they take advantage of the fact that you want to do it,
Interesting.
and then they make you pay for it all.
They leverage it for something.
Yeah, and so we've got some out-of-town engineering firm making all these changes, a California company.
Oh, really? That's what's happening?
Yeah, and then they won't even, so we couldn't even use the traffic patterns of the old mall.
Oh, okay.
And then I sold the Sears building in 9 acres to Mainline Printing,
Yeah,
and then I sold the Gordman's building in 5 acres to Mainline Printing.
gotcha.
And thanks to John Parker Jr. and his foresight, he did the deal with the city garage over there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got the city garage. 'Cause that deal that deal wouldn't have happened if it weren't for John Parker Jr.
John Parker Jr. Yeah, I'd like to meet him someday. No, it didn't happen because of,
Ask John, no, that's the way it happens.
see, that's the thing about.
But that's Topeka.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say.
know, the short ball hitter
Yeah,
wants to kick Babe Ruth out of the game. Never can be the coach.
it seems complicated.
It's too complicated.
But I'm
That's why I want to do a uniform development agreement.
Well, how's this go? Tell me about this.
Okay, so as long as we're complying with state law,
Uh-huh.
and I was meeting with some Republicans the other day, and they go, well, is the state law okay? Well, I didn't come to change the state law. It's the state law today.
Gotcha. It's still the state law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, look, I learned not to drink and drive. It took me a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's state law.
Yeah.
So let's just comply. So you've got tax incremental financing, you got community investment district, and you got RHID, which is really rural housing
Right.
that they brought in
Mhm.
because our housing is so messed up.
Right.
Because the housing is so messed up, because they take advantage of the housing developers.
I see.
And see, even my boy Dana K. Anderson went broke being a home developer in this town.
Really? Is it
But
because of the hoops you have to jump through or something?
No, it's the
The
policies.
policies.
And so I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. Well, the mayor doesn't really have any juice. He's a ribbon cutter.
Yeah.
Well, the mayor is supposed to lead policy. And so what I want to do is change policies.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't matter that your name isn't Jim Klossman or Cody Foster or Henry McClure or Tyler Weibel, or anybody in the book,
Right.
Doug Bassett.
Mhm.
But you could walk in and do the development because it's a uniform agreement. And you don't have to go begging to the city for gruel, please, can I have some bowls?
So would you say it's something that can level the playing field?
It
a little
levels
bit?
the playing field.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we've got to start opening up our community.
Yeah, it's important.
It is.
It's important because they're not teaching certain things in school.
What we need to do is we need to quit giving corporate welfare to the Mars family, the Walden family, Target, Bimbo Bakery. We stop giving corporate welfare because originally the economic development was to grow the population
Yeah,
and broaden the tax base.
that's true.
It didn't do it.
It didn't do it.
So pivot.
You gotta pick.
Tell your mom that's what we got to do.
We brought out Scarlett Johansson.
We're pivoting.
In the dinosaur movie.
Yeah.
That's why they became extinct. They didn't They didn't pivot. They didn't evolve. Either you evolve or you become extinct. It's just that simple. And that's what I feel like a quick pivot is.
Well, and see,
Evolution.
everybody thinks I'm a
Survival.
multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And maybe over my lifetime I've had millions or spent them, you know.
Yeah.
It's not, the important thing about having $1 million is saving it.
Yeah. Or investing it where it's going to grow.
And that's savings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. You're right.
So,
Yeah, that's
but
important.
today, you know, I lease my office, I lease my house, I'm nimble.
Yeah.
And you know something? I will change.
Right.
I'll adapt.
Mhm.
So if this is the way you're gonna do it, Topeka,
Yeah.
you know, it's
That's it.
okay, I'll
Yeah.
work around you.
Yeah.
I've got listings now in Emporia, Gardner, Legends,
Mhm.
and up Riverside. And I'm working with Sterling Scott on stuff.
Yeah.
I owe Sterling because of what happened to him in Topeka.
Okay.
So here's the thing about it. So Mason Dana, that were the second owners of White Lakes,
Right.
they developed the Gordon, it was Arlen originally,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, Dana Kay got the stoplight there from the highway.
And you needed that to do anything, get anything going.
So, yeah, I've been a part of it. So, another broker brought us the deals for Chick-fil-A and Whataburger.
Okay. Yeah.
Another broker brought them to Sterling and Blake Scott,
Okay.
but I got paid because I'm his broker.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I probably haven't helped him one bit being Henry McClure because I think the city of Topeka is vindictive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think this fella named Braxton Copley was out for me.
Oh, God.
You know,
Yeah.
I hate to admit that I said, well, we'll just see if the town wants a Whataburger or a Braxton Copley, and I think he got angry.
Gotcha.
I hate to admit
Well,
that.
tell me this. Okay.
Yes.
Is the reason he got angry as well as the reason why people don't pivot the same source, ego? Do you feel like that's
Yeah,
the same
Napoleon complex.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what that is,
source? Yeah, exactly.
little fella.
Little man complex. So the ego needs to be this. Yeah. So is there a lot? Was there a lot of ego on these city legislation boards that you're not fighting with them, but that you're having a little disagreement with? Is there a lot of ego on them?
You mean
on
like
their
the
side?
city council?
Yeah, their ego.
Oh,
on it.
absolutely.
Okay. That's what's stalling things.
No,
out.
and they hate me.
Oh, do that? Yeah. I'm
You know, David
curious.
Banks goes, well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes they just say it's how you say it.
Oh, so they're shooting the messenger because of the delivery. The way-
Yeah.
Is it too raw and real?
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, this is one thing you won't believe. In Topeka, the old white guy can be discriminated on.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. It happens in all forms.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
you heard of Go Topeka?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've seen the signs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Go Topeka.
Well, so,
Oh yeah, go Topeka. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
using our sales
Yes.
tax.
Yes.
So, do you think that Go Topeka ought to give like $1.3 million away to charities?
Well, it would do some good depending on which charity.
But you think-
Yeah.
But you think economic development money, you should use sales tax to give away to charity?
Oh well, see that's it. Yeah. It depends on how you structure it. That's a totally different thing. Hold on, it's my mom.
Put her on the horn.
Hi, mom. Yes, I have everything. I have everything. You're on Henry McClure Live, his show.
We were hoping, I'm looking forward to your list that I've got to adhere to if I want your vote.
You got what?
I heard that you're writing a list that I'd have to comply with to get your vote.
I didn't say that. My son said that.
Oh, all right. Well, so look, I'm not going to take campaign contributions because you're not going to be able to buy Henry McClure.
I
And
wouldn't even try because I believe in honesty.
there you go, baby. And then, so I've also said I'm not going to take a salary because you guys already pay too much in taxes.
Yes, we do. Right?
Lead by example.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later.
All
All
right.
right, love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, so that's
No, so no,
yeah.
I say charity starts at home.
Yeah.
I don't want to be taxed by the government so they can give it away to who they say is charitable.
Well, I see.
So
see.
here's,
I
because
see.
what they do is then,
You explain it to me. Like, okay, so
well,
what
no,
are they doing?
brass tacks is,
Okay.
they're buying the votes. So
Okay.
then, all those people, all the charities then want to support the incumbents
Mhm.
because they're gonna keep getting their money as long as they keep putting those guys in the power.
Interesting. Okay.
And then on top of that, I think, like it was $3.8 million in overhead, salaries and overhead and rent,
Wow.
everything.
Yeah.
And let's just give that money to the roads today. We've already got,
It's funny you mentioned that. My mom always complained about the potholes. Like,
Yeah.
she'll blow over a tire out just trying to get from one side of the town to the next. And I'm like, well, I don't know how they fix that.
well, so I can show you the ballot, and there's a long list. You got economic development up here, and then you got all these road projects. But we got a $16.5 million shortfall in the road projects. So that's not economic development, giving money to the charity and just supporting the NGO.
Yeah.
Just-
Will they take outside investors to fix the roads? Like if someone had a specific technology that they wanted to try on potholes in Topeka, can they partner with someone
Well,
else down the state?
as your mayor, I will take their proposal in to the
For
committee.
consideration?
Yes, I will.
Okay, got you.
But
Yes.
that's what,
Yeah.
and Banks is always just saying, just shut up, get your legs under the table.
First.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was in the.
Well, that's because you might have done that if you hadn't died for a little while. But now that you're back, you don't have time to BS.
No,
You see what I'm saying? You're shooting straight,
man.
right?
Well, I don't think I shot straight
Sure.
originally.
But I'm just saying after something like that.
Well,
you kinda-
time becomes more valuable.
Absolutely right.
Well, you think you're bulletproof when you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, well, yeah. Liquid courage, that's what I
Oh.
call it that, you know?
Well, I didn't need that. Look at the backflips. That
So,
was the adrenaline.
Make sure he puts this black flip.
A black flip.
Black flip.
Hey.
It's black flip if I do it.
Henry McClure doing a black flip.
Make sure he puts the back flip footage from the side of the mountain in the snowsuit and the ski boots on the feed.
I will do this.
So
Hey,
that they can, yeah.
do you know James Bolden Jr.?
If I see him, for sure.
We do a show called Black and White.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's running for mayor against me.
Have you been on this show?
Sure.
Oh, man, you should have let me.
But I won't put him on now again until after the primary.
Okay.
Or,
okay.
you know.
That's rare to have like someone you're running against that's been on the show and everything.
Yeah, I've had Spencer on the show, Chad Fay on the show,
Okay.
James Bolden on the show,
Okay.
and then the other guy that's running for mayor, he lives in that apartment right over here.
Gotcha. So you know everyone. I mean, it's not like you're unfamiliar with these people that are running against you.
No.
Well, it's healthy competition.
Well, hey, here's one thing I want to know. I thought about this today.
Mhm.
You know, I was looking at the Jayhawk Theater, and the Duncan family,
Mhm.
Tuck Duncan, had an interest in a building that's connected to Jayhawk.
Okay.
And I wonder if his son, who's on city council, disclosed that because they got a bunch of tax dollars.
Oh, well, that can be a conflict.
Well,
of
I want to
interest,
know.
maybe.
No, it's not, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it was, if this community wanted to give him money, that horse is out of the barn. But did he disclose it?
Interesting. Yeah. That's a good question.
I told the city, I can be, look, I live my life out loud. I'm probably overexposed, but there's 100% transparency with me.
Right.
And I could be the mayor of this community.
Are these like, once we do this, is it just live or does it get saved?
Okay, so every live gets downloaded by one of my contractors, search engine optimization put on it,
Okay.
graphics, and then it's all uploaded to my YouTube channel.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. That's why I like the consistency. I thought you were just going live, but you actually have an archive so that people can go back and review that you've been consistent with
And
what you're
people
saying.
watch,
Right.
the YouTube channel gets a lot of views.
Okay.
The watch time on YouTube surpasses, I mean, as far as statistics go, they say that's good,
Okay.
what I've got going on.
Interesting. So they can go back and see that
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
consistent in
Yeah.
what you're saying. Okay. And that's important, you know. That helps. I would think that would help a campaign for people to go back and check on what your fact check your stuff, you know.
The problem really with running for office is getting people to understand the system. So, like, if I said Jetto, what does that mean to you?
Nothing. It really means nothing to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about Jetto real quick.
Okay, yeah.
So you got the 3 county commissioners, they're on Jetto. You've got the deputy mayor and the mayor are on Jetto, and 2 city council people that they vote. But that's Jetto. So Jetto manages the economic development money,
Oh, okay.
and they contract with an NGO, Go Topeka.
Don't speak it.
Now, so here's what I say, this is what I don't like about it. When Jetto and Go Topeka have a meeting of where the money's gonna go, it's in a board meeting to Go Topeka, and I can't go to it,
Okay,
because I'm not in the club.
got you.
So I don't think it's fair that an NGO gets to determine where tax money goes.
Yeah,
It's no transparency.
right. And that your system that you described would add more transparency. You talked
Well,
about
we
it
would,
earlier.
really, we can do away with Jetto because
Okay.
it's inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, because if you look at Jetto, that's the closest thing that you've got to a consolidated government.
Yeah,
And they're worthless.
yeah,
I mean, we've got a guy out in one part of the county that owes lots of taxes. And we got another guy over here getting all the favors.
gotcha.
So they're really worthless. Jetto's worthless.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's redundant? It's just overkill? It's
No,
fat?
no, because they don't run, it just proves that the government doesn't run it. It's the oligarchs, it's the big guys.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
the chamber.
Gotcha.
And the last thing you really want is the chamber running your city, because there's an inherent conflict of interest,
By default, just by
Yeah,
that happening.
just
Yeah.
by default,
Gotcha.
because it's human nature.
Yeah.
You know, we're all racist.
Yeah, yeah.
You
feel
know,
like
deep
we are.
down,
Yeah.
no, really, at the end of the day, well, what's the difference?
I'm not racist.
No, I'm just saying
I'm
that.
just
You know
putting
what I'm saying?
that
I'm
out.
not.
No, I hear what you're saying.
But I'm saying, at the end of the day, if you're making a decision about another business coming to Topeka,
Yeah.
you might be racist, because you're gonna keep that business out. You know what I'm
Interesting.
saying?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm
yeah.
just being a
Yeah,
jackass.
no.
In a good way.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah. So tell me, see, this is what's interesting about it here. It seems as if, I've noticed that a lot of people, if you really dig deeper and look at the background, who are doing like higher level management or development or decision making in the city's development, the capital city of Kansas, they're not from here. Have you noticed that? Like, if you look across the board and really go down through their LinkedIn bio and check and see, they moved here 5-6 years ago from an Oklahoma, from a Tulsa, from like Matthew, he was here for.
Well, he wasn't, he was just a glad hander.
No.
you
What is
know-
that? What's the definition of that?
Oh, he loves you to your face, you know,
Okay.
glad to see you.
Gotcha.
But then behind you, when he's up in the big meeting, he's selling you down the river.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't realize he was doing that. Wow.
Well, yeah. So what they did is they propped Matt Pavarnak up
Mhm.
to be, so that's when the Greater Topeka Partnership was really formed.
Gotcha.
So they created all these NGOs that report to Matt, because he was probably a bigger deal than Topeka.
I see.
And that kept him here.
Gotcha.
But,
He had the leverage.
no, he would leave the meetings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I actually sold him his house.
Really? Out by the lake somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a story about, he told a story about this gentleman, Michael Oladipo or something. I forgot his last name. Please, sorry, don't hold it against me, Michael. But he has the Omni Circle group. I heard a story about when he first came out to pitch this idea to Matthew, he made it seem as if Michael was fumbling his paperwork and like just a young green developer, like didn't know anything. And then look what we have here today. And I was like, man, why do you say that like that? Why do you paint the picture like the young man wasn't prepared? But he said he came out to the lake by his house, where I guess where you sold him.
Yeah.
And then he had him sit there, and once he heard that, then they put I guess Cody gave some of the money for that. I'm not sure, but next thing you know, now it exists. But he gives this big speech at the ribbon cutting for Omni Circle. I watched it from Las Vegas, and I'm looking like, I don't know much about Michael. He's always been very astute, seems sharp, but I knew he wasn't from here. He came to play football, but I'm thinking, why haven't they given any money like this to anyone from here? I just don't understand. I've never seen anyone from here
They've never,
get the money
ever
like that.
given me any money on any of my projects.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I'm not their guy.
I see.
I'm not their puppet.
I see.
I'm not their,
I just didn't know.
Matt Pavarnak.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't understand it, and I guess Matt's not here anymore. Is he?
No, he went off to Myrtle Beach, I think.
Oh, that's a pretty good golf out there, Myrtle Beach.
Well, he's probably got a great deal.
Yeah.
He can glad hand out there all he wants.
Wow. So.
I got a phone call
Mhm.
because I've called Matt Pavarnak out a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's what people, some of my viewers say I call people out too much.
Interesting.
Well,
Well,
and too outspoken.
in government, it's supposed to be dialogue.
Well, they want
It's supposed
us
be
to,
dialogue,
but they want us to comply. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
The politically correctness is so people could be politically incorrect and not get exposed.
I see.
You know, you're not towing the company
So
line.
you're
Henry.
down at the city council meetings a lot.
Yeah, in fact, Marcus Miller, a guy, he emailed me last night. Hey, are you okay? Because I two Tuesdays in a row. You know where they go under your gums and clean?
Oh, yes. It's
I hate
a little
that.
sensitive, yeah.
I
That's
hate
why I don't eat popcorn much.
I'm totally. I told the ladies I'm going back. I go. You know, I'm terrified to be here. You know that white coat syndrome.
Yeah, my friend Derek Durbin, how you doing, Derek? That's my guy.
Hey, Derek.
His dad was a dentist as well. He just right off of.
They're masochists. They like to see you squirm.
But he's so big. I'm like, why you get so big? Well, extractions. You got to basically put your foot on their face and
Yeah.
get that tooth out of there. And someone like me has super long roots, so you really got to wrench it out of there. I didn't even know that.
Well, so look, after you have dental work done in the day, you don't want to go to a city council meeting. It's just like more dental work.
That's the last thing you want.
You know, coming up through your rectum. It's
No,
terrible.
time out. That's
All
crazy.
right, all right.
That's crazy. No, but Seth, I'm here really just to ask you, because you're the boots on the ground, so to speak.
No, you know why I like you?
Yeah.
Your mind never quits.
No, I'm like 2 years old.
And that's beautiful.
And so I can be locked in this room, and I'm curious. And the curiosity, there's no ego in it. Again,
Here,
no
hang on,
ego.
let's get some applause on that. We'll put some applause on. You know, I gotta learn how to work the soundboard a
Gotcha.
little better.
Well, you should have it where you can actually hear which one happens as well when you press
Yeah,
it.
we could do the headset.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if I get the second half of my commission on a big deal I did, I'll buy some new sound
Okay.
equipment. This would be fun. I don't really like the layout. I think I'm gonna get rid of this
Yeah.
and then build custom cabinets. I gotta get Tyler Weibel over here
Mhm.
and we'll build something in.
Well, you can go green screen and put whatever, you
Yeah.
click it in the back, and you click the back, or you can be on the beach one time, you can, be in space as an astronaut if you'd like. But I was getting to a point.
I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem. I was getting to a point with this 2-year-old perspective thing that I was
I
saying.
love that idea, the eyes of a
When
child.
you have the eyes of a child and curiosity without ego, sans ego, then you generally learn faster. And if everyone has that, there's no ego. So we're like, well, what do you think we should do, Henry? And you're like, well, in my opinion, we should do this. Oh, yeah, I think we should. Instead of, when I came here for this position, quote unquote, to run the city, they promised me certain things, and now you're digging into my pocket. See, that's all ego. A kid wouldn't do that. You want to play? Let's play. And then next thing you know, we create. So, but it's about the sharing of the knowledge, and that's my segue into this, my production company
So let's hear about
and
it.
foundation. It's
Are
called.
we gonna build a sound stage here?
I'm getting to that.
All
So,
right.
it's called Lansky Vision. My nickname outside of Topeka is Lansky, Lanski. It stands for Love All Now, Spread Knowledge Internationally. That's all I do for free or fee. I really don't do anything for money anymore. When I turned 40, I said I'm going to be the flame, and whatever it is, the flame means purely who I am. Who I'm genuinely at the core. I'm a giver, I'm a cultivator. My last name's Farmer. So I said, all I'm worried about is giving and cultivating. I'm not worried about...
And then the money comes.
Yeah, but you got to learn infrastructure. You know contracts. I've been burned a lot of times. I've learned a lot of times, not burned. So you develop that. So Love All Now, Spread Knowledge Internationally.
Hey, let's see if this is somebody that's
The
calling
vision
in.
of that.
Okay?
Yeah.
You keep talking.
Yeah,
okay?
no problem. I'm going to see if I can get...
Make sure my...
I'm going to see if I can
Thanks
get
a whole.
my guy Chris in here. But, yeah. So anyway, Love All Now, Spread Knowledge Internationally. It's the vision of that. That's what Lansky Vision is.
Henry McClure live.
Henry's in here.
Henry McClure live. It's Mike Ogle, not so live, watching baseball in my backyard.
Oh, okay.
Sounds alive to me.
Yeah, you sound live. Well, we're doing a show right now. Are you watching?
I'm watching the Cincinnati Reds and the Guardians. I like to watch baseball. I'll tell you what, though. I do want a Henry McClure for mayor, sign for my yard. I got some other locations, and I support you 100%.
Well, thanks. I'm gonna need.
Applause.
I'm gonna need the grassroots effort to get elected. If the people are gonna have to elect me, because I'm up against the machine, and I'm up against the auto pen.
More than anybody, I understand the machine you're up against, and I'll walk District 7 for you. I'll walk wherever you want me to hand out handbills if you need. I'll do all I can, okay?
Okay, and also too, when we get squared away, the skateboard idea is a good idea. I'm gonna work with you on it.
Great.
Okay.
And I'm going to try if you want. You want a big sign over there off 11th and Gage where I had my sign? I'm going to ask that guy if you want to put a big sign there.
Oh, I like that guy.
What?
Yeah, you ask him, so it's coming from you. Hey, so how can you help him with the? You got Larry Farmer on the show right now.
How you doing, Michael?
Larry Farmer.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm too blessed to be stressed, Michael. How are you?
What's up? You know, I am too, but I'm still feeling stressed anyway, and I should be in a better place. I should be praying to God just like you do.
Yeah, it's the number one killer, man. We gotta let the stress go. It's not that serious, bro. I got whatever you having problems with, I can help you because God helped me. That's what it's all about, you know.
Well, get my number from Henry and give me a ring, okay?
I will do. Well, I was gonna tell you, a business partner and friend of mine in L.A. She was in part of the Olympics in Tokyo with a skateboarding company, so I know everything that has to do with skateboarding. Only reason I stopped skateboarding is because I had major knee surgery here at Washburn when I was playing basketball as the captain of the team.
Is that the scar?
That's the scar. I was the second person in the country to get this.
Man.
And then they didn't give me a red shirt year, ironically, because they had basically spent my scholarship from new talent when I was a senior.
I can't skateboard anymore either because of my Army injuries, but my kid loves it. It's amazing because I loved it too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I gave up the whole lifestyle to be in the Army.
Yeah. I'm talking about taking it way back when we actually went all the way across town just for transportation. Not just the tricks and stuff, but actually really skateboarding, like all across town.
Absolutely.
You know, that's old school. Yeah. All right, good to meet you.
All
man.
right, thanks for calling. I'll give you a shout later.
Yeah.
Bless you guys.
All right,
Henry
thanks.
McClure Live. Thanks for your support.
So anyway, the Love All Now Spread Knowledge Internationally Lansky Vision, we're specializing in cautionary tales and inspirational stories. So my partner, my homie G-Rock, he's out in Las Vegas. Shout out to G-Rock. He has a production company.
Hey, G-Rock.
Yeah, he has a production company called Rock Solid Production Group, Inc. And I was the executive producer for that. Now, Rock Solid Production Group, Inc. won an Emmy working with Celine Dion on James Corden car karaoke in the Strip. Now, that's when you ride in the car and they sing songs, and they build a Titanic boat and everything. That's why I won an Emmy.
What?
I put it in the Bellagio.
You won an Emmy?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, I know.
You're a movie star.
No, look, no. And see, I don't ever publicize that because I'm from the cloth of real G's move in silence. That's like a street code thing. So the point is, it doesn't matter. The knowledge is what matters. What can I bring? What resources can I bring from the places that we don't have the resources here? Can I bring that here? Yes, I can. Have I been trying to do so? Like you, I've been talking with different people around, and I haven't received the warmest feedback. Like, for instance, there's one deal that I'm going to send with you as well called Earth Vision Biosolutions. They're the #1 contractor to replace all of DART's styrofoam. Now, that's relevant and significant because DART does all of the Starbucks lids in the world. But DART's already been banned in 12 states. They want to bring that.
DART is a company,
Yeah.
not
No,
throwing.
okay, there's context. DART is a styrofoam company who is up against the wall because they've been banned in 12 states. We have a solution that can replace that styrofoam made of starch from plant bioproduct. And we have plenty of that in Kansas. And it turns into that. So,
Well, wait. How does it? Does it dissolve?
you mean biodegradable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Because
But what about the hot coffee hitting it?
No, not right away. It takes a little while.
takes a while.
But the point is, it's all natural. They want to put the extruders to make that in the mall. I've been talking for almost 2 years to try to get it in the mall.
In the mall out here?
I'm trying to get it downtown. I've had multiple meetings. I've written emails. And it's all, hey, we'll meet with you. Oh, that sounds cool. We've had a couple of conference
Well, wait a
calls.
minute. Why does it need to go in a mall? Is it a coffee shop?
Well, the reason is because I was trying to be a solution for a brick and mortar like Sears leaving and the JCPenney's leaving. I'm trying to fill those spaces to help the
But
mall.
it sounds like a manufacturing.
Well, sure, but I'm saying, here's what I planned. I was trying to attract the attention of the Cody Foster development team because I know they have the resources to pay what's necessary to get retrofit things and get it going.
You know,
faster.
even guys like Cody Foster, there's a point in time, even they run out of money.
Well, fastest growing company in Kansas history. I don't know if they're going to run out anytime soon. You know, I'm not in the man's pockets. I don't speak on people's pockets. I just know he's done some stuff in the community that I would perceive as good. I don't know the whole story because I'm not here
Well,
all the time.
especially when you get $9.5 million from taxpayer money to prop you up.
Well, I don't know that that's what's happening. I just know I looked at.
You don't believe me?
I just looked at Kansas Avenue and I saw Cypress, this. So to me, on the surface, things are happening.
Oh, no, I love the hotel.
No, plus, Advisors Excel has multiple locations for the offices. So
Yeah,
they're
I love it.
obviously
It's
growing.
on McClure Road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they call it the McClure Building.
I didn't know that.
You know why?
Tell me why.
Named after my grandfather. I love
Respect to the grandpa.
Yeah,
He laid the
I love
foundation.
Cody Foster that got to go every day to the McClure Building.
Yeah.
That's probably why he bought the mall.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to go to
You
the
don't want to
McClure
go there
thing anymore.
Okay. So Dart can be here.
I'm not against Cody Foster.
No, me either.
Okay, let's say that.
Why would I be?
Right.
He's done nothing.
But
good.
when it comes to tax dollars, I get to weigh in and say whatever I want because this is America.
You have a right to. You know what?
Absolutely.
Shout out to Cody. He had the big Topeka event, the 80s themed Topeka event at the mall. I came later. I didn't know I'd be available. He let me sit at his table free of charge. And I had no way to get in other than him. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I had my press pass, and they wouldn't let me through.
Really? Well, you're dealing with things I'm not dealing with.
No,
here,
that's
man.
all right.
So, okay, so
I'm banned.
Dart, we can replace styrofoam. That's a national story immediately for Topeka.
Well, wait a second. How come we're just not doing the deal? You and me.
$250,000. They need $250,000
To do what?
to bring the extruder here.
Well, what are we going to do with... What do I get for my $250,000?
I got the whole thing. I'll email it to you right now, literally from my phone.
Okay, but do we just need a building?
You need a building, preferably by the railroad, because it's very heavy manufacturing. They have to bring the extruder here, so that's all in the cost to bring it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much space does the extruder need?
I have it all here. I'll send it to you.
I'll do the deal with you today. I got it.
Don't say it. Don't say you're doing it for sure.
Why not?
Don't go on record as that
I'm going to do this deal. I'm going to give it my heart. I'll do everything I can.
to get the deal done.
Yeah.
All right, deal number 2. Pet tech company.
Now, hang on. So, what are we going to be offloading with the train?
What you're going to be offloading is final product. Lids for Starbucks globally. Starbucks lids. Replace all the lids. You're the hero now. You're the one that all the 12 banned states, you're pushing product to there.
How do you pull this deal out of your hat?
I don't pull it out of my hat. It took 20 years. See, that's the thing. My mom was just on the phone. You heard that, folks. That sweet woman tells me, Jewel, she's like, you need to start using your crock pot when you go to college. You put the stuff in there before practice. You come out at practice, makes the house smell good. You got leftovers for days. That's what I believe in as far as relationships go. Crock pot cooking, slow simmer, not microwave. Relationships, ups and downs, consistency. So
How did we meet?
I've been working this 20 years.
Figure it out. How did we meet? I can't remember.
That's interesting. No, I know how we met. I came to your pizza pub,
Yeah.
and you had a menu. You said, "Hey, you heard I did design, went to Washburn, played basketball." You said, "I need some help on my menus." So I stayed. I didn't even have my computer. This is exclusive scoop. I didn't even have my computer. I went to Topeka Public Library,
Yeah.
Shawnee County Library, and I was on the design computers doing your menu.
Did
to
I
keep my
redo it?
word.
Did I use it?
You used it.
Do I owe you money?
No, you paid me. You paid me.
Hey!
Yeah.
Good thing. I'm out of debt.
He paid his invoices.
Oh, that's
So I come back there. You're like, I like this, but you know what? I'm not sure if I'm holding on to this place. And I thought that was so peculiar. You still paid me for the menu, but you said, I don't even know if I want to hold on to this pizza pub. And I said, that's interesting. It's a night. My mom first said, I really like this pizza. Starts talking about it all over. And I'm like, you hear what she's saying? That's grassroots. Keep it. She's like, yeah, I have something else that I want to do. And so
Yeah, it's real estate.
it's realistic.
I never was going to be the food guy.
Is that building still available? Or?
No, it's I don't know, it's a place called Fat Shack.
But it had like an apartment upstairs.
I lived up there for a little while.
That's nice.
Oh man, we had a guy that every once in a while they'd have to haul ice up to my tub.
What?
Yeah, I would do an ice soak. After being up so long, my gymnastics legs have been
No,
beat up.
man, we both have some serious injuries going on. Well, do you know Wim Hof?
No, I'm just old.
Do you know who Wim Hof is? Wim Hof is the world's foremost leader in cold plunge therapy.
It's a thing.
We were contracted to do his documentary and the largest event with total participants in Dubai, and with my business partner G-Rock. And so this is the type of things we do with Lansky Vision and Rock Solid Production Group. But the dart, you said you're doing that. Let me tell you one
I'm
last
going to
thing.
figure out how to do
No,
it.
I'll send it to you before we leave.
Okay, but does the $250,000, is that, do I buy into the company with that?
No, to do that, there's another entry point. I think it's like 1.2 or 2 point something. You'll see. And then you get a certain percentage. I can literally pull the people up on live right now. Henry McClure live. I can pull the
We
people.
can talk to them?
Right now, yes. I'm calling right now.
All right.
So here's the deal. While we're talking about that.
Can I get my coffee?
No, you can't get it. You can't get it.
I got it.
Unless you have enough for everyone, don't bring. No.
Hey, that's what I said to the mayor the other day.
No, you didn't.
No, I did. I'm telling you. The mayor is up there eating food, and as the mayor, and I go, I'll show you this. I go,
You got some for the rest of us?
did you bring enough for everybody?
Yes. You learned that
But
earlier.
that is Topeka.
Yeah.
That is Topeka.
That's how it should be. You should have something for everyone if you're going to if you're going to do that. All right, I'm calling her right now.
Morning, Larry.
Hey, Santa. All right, Chris.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Too blessed to be stressed. Hey, Santa, I'm going to tell you to be transparent up front. I have you on live, Henry McClure live.
It's a podcast here in Topeka,
It's
Kansas.
a podcast in Topeka, Kansas. I'm meeting with the gentleman that's probably the #1 source for real estate development and here in the Midwest. But he has a history of doing malls nationwide, and so he and I were going to partner on redeveloping the mall to turn into sports arenas. This is the gentleman that bought it, the mall. They're the ones I've been trying to connect with to do the Earth Vision Biosolutions. But I should have really been, in addition, connecting with Henry, and I don't even know I didn't think of this. But we're on this podcast. You'll be able to review this with your voice on this later. But he was hearing about the fact that I've been meeting with the city over and over and over. Now, his name's Henry McClure. He's running for mayor this year. And he was speaking about how there's too much red tape in development, and then things projects sometimes die out because it doesn't hit the right person that they control.
You know what's interesting about this moment right now? As mayor, I'm going to have to disclose everything I'm doing because I got to be transparent as mayor.
Right.
And if somebody hears this, sees this show, steals the idea, we're all the better.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, because it still happens.
Now, who am I talking with?
This is Santa Lawrence. Santa, go ahead and describe yourself. Give a little elevator pitch of who you are. This is cold turkey right now.
If you got time, you have time for us?
Yeah, first you have time.
Well, just a few minutes.
Okay.
But, my name is Santa Lawrence. My company is Clarity Consulting. I speak with people that are looking to launch disruptive technologies and make large changes where there are needs for various things like housing and jobs, and maybe there's a real concern about the environment, and there's someone with a great technology that can remedy the situations, and just a variety of things.
So do you work with a lot of brownfields to make them clean up, site improvement?
Well, no, I work with companies that can come in and develop the solutions for those things.
Okay.
As we have talked about in the case of Earth Vision, they have the technology to create products that will ultimately replace plastic, replace styrofoam, and replace wood. And the need for this is extreme because companies that hold over 70% of the accounts that supply like clamshells and solo cups and the lids on the Starbucks and all of those items, they are now looking desperately for a replacement of that technology so they can continue to service those accounts because of the environmental damage that a new era in creating products such as these.
Santa, I want to thank you for just taking our cold call like that and speaking so honestly. I appreciate that. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas.
All right.
I'm Mexican American.
Okay, cool.
And I'm involved in various other industries. I'm also involved in the entertainment industry and other technologies like apps for consuming music, just a variety of things over the years. We've been very involved in many, my husband and I have been very involved in promoting things that will only make things better for everyone.
So where's home today? Where do you live today?
Well, actually, Henderson, Nevada.
Okay.
Big state.
Oh, in fact, I know the city manager or the assistant city manager of Henderson. You know that guy Charlie Moore,
Yeah.
the real estate guy? It's his wife or girlfriend.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know about their familial status.
Yeah.
I don't know them personally, but their names are very, obviously they're known.
Santa, I don't want to interrupt you, but I also want to add the caveat that you help people establish foundations and that's really how it changes the world. Like we at first met initially, you and I, you were going to help me create this Landscape Vision Foundation and then some film projects because she does a lot of film projects as well. So I wanted to add that.
Yeah. Well, we look for ways in which we can, everything that I do, just to make it be clear, has a humanitarian effort behind it. I have out of my office a grant writer that helps smaller startup 501c3s that have various missions that are going to better lives for children and underprivileged and things of the sort. And we also have tremendous efforts with sustainable housing. One of my biggest clients is developing sustainable housing all over the world. Big accounts in Australia, Africa, U.S., many in the U.S. as well. And I've actually been able to accomplish getting more interest on that in here in the U.S. for more affordable and sustainable housing. When I say sustainable, I mean you want them waterproof, fireproof, and windproof these days. Being on what we've seen happen with the hurricanes and tornadoes and all these things all over the world. I currently have people calling me from other parts of the world asking me what we do. But, I mean, there's only so much we can do. We have to pace ourselves because it is, when you're looking at starting new technologies and finding solutions, you also have to develop the infrastructures that are going to implement the use of those solutions, and it takes time. And so we have some answers, but we don't have them completely in place to actually be fulfilling all the questions and needs that there are, but we're looking forward to doing that soon.
Yes, she and I.
Everything's a process.
Santa and I have been discussing over the last year or so about how I had a shipping container tiny home company called Legacy Vision here, and she was saying how she can collaborate with us to use some of these new materials for the insulation if I wanted to choose shipping containers, or she also has other technology like she just discussed, how we can eradicate homelessness by 2030. I believe that's a project by Barry Feeker, who was the former director of the Topeka Rescue Mission. I'm trying to get on that board, and I've been on Barry's case a little bit, like texting him, hey, let me get on the board. But I think he might have seen it as a conflict of interest, like I'm just trying to get on the board.
Well, you're in Vegas.
Yeah. No, I mean, but I told him, I'm here all the time, man, with my mom. My phone number hasn't changed from here in 10 years. My car is registered here, literally. So I really am a dual citizen type situation happening.
I accept you.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask Santa a question
Go ahead.
here? Have you been out to the Boxable plant?
No, actually I have not. I mean, they sent me a lot of material because at one time I was looking into them. They have currently 170,000 houses on back order.
Yeah.
I bought stock in that company.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think in time it's going to be really profitable. I mean, in fact, I just had a friend of mine visit me from Texas that literally went there to take a look at their model and see the potential in it. However, I just have to sit back and wait because
You know what I like about the shipping containers is you can take the one end of it and have a safe room
Right.
and bolt it down, and then you're tornado proof, or at
Sure.
least a lot better off than living in
Yep.
like a trailer home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm personally familiar with 3 other unique sustainable housing styles and technologies.
Mhm.
So definitely not the only one. It seems the one that has the most aesthetically attractive because they do have all the bells and whistles within it, and it looks so modern.
Mhm.
And for most people, that's the way they want to fulfill their housing.
Right.
But nonetheless, I do think that I'm definitely in favor of any company that's developing a solution, because we all know that the homelessness is so big in this world that there aren't enough people and companies that yet I think they can fulfill the needs.
Sure. We were talking about it being I'm sorry, we were talking about it being a problem here in Topeka, but I'm like, come to Las Vegas, come to LA to Skid Row. So I've been having meetings with the people in those municipalities on how to eradicate sustainably for years. And so that's what I was telling Cody, I mean not Cody, I was telling,
That's a
I'm sorry,
compliment.
I was telling Henry,
I'll shave my head.
I was telling
If I had
Henry,
his
I
money, I'd
believe
shave
in
my head.
I believe in crock pot cooking. So my relationship with you, years long, battles, back and forth, a long nights, 5-hour conversations, back in the morning, and we have the solutions. I believe, like we were just talking about before we called you, ego to us, to me, stands for edging God out. You and I both have a faith-based vision, and where we're not allowing ego to get involved, and because of that, ultimately, we're going to meet our Avengers. I believe in the Avengers model. Cody Foster, that we were talking about, he's an Avenger of Topeka. You're an Avenger. We have to get the ego out the way so that people can work together, share resources,
Thanos.
and get things done.
Well, ego and pride.
Right.
And I can say this because I have dealt over the years with very innovative inventors that didn't want to give in to some things that could have made them successful. And you can't sit on anything for very long before it becomes obsolete.
Right.
Because other things will come in good timing and take over that market right away.
Yes, timing is everything.
Numerous times. And it was pride and it was ego.
Well, the largest home builder in Las Vegas, they have a program that teaches high school kids to build tiny homes. They're dying for a test center, a test ground, to transfer that business model to our school system. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they'll give the whole business plan to say, out here we have something called Washburn Tech, which is like a training program for plumbing, electrical, etc. And so kids that aren't traditional, don't want to go to traditional college, they want to learn a skill, they can do that. So what I'm saying is, if we can get ego out of the way, they have the resources, they have the plan, they'll transfer it, they don't have the ego, they don't want to hold on to it. They heard my story, they're inspired. Mars and I went and visited the location. They'll transfer it here. But we've got to get the people that we've been talking to on the phone, the Matthew Pabarniks, he left to a new position, but we also talked to the other woman.
See, these are all bureaucrats.
But
we just need deal makers.
So you're on a Deal Makers podcast. He gave me a pledge and shook my hand. He's going to do whatever he can to get this pushed through. Now, I was telling him it's $250,000, but of course there's other investment levels, and I'm going to give him the information before I leave, and then I'll drive back to Las Vegas, literally. I've stayed here an hour and 20 minutes longer than I planned just to be on here, to get you on here.
And hey, Santa, I love you, and thank you for just taking our call out of the blue.
Yeah.
And look, if I was going to be mayor, this is how it's going to happen. We're going to have transparency. We'll talk about the deals. Let Cody come in and steal this deal and invest the money.
Yeah.
It will be good for the community.
What I do want to share is all these wonderful, incredibly extraordinary young people that are willing to be plumbers, electricians, builders, carpenters. They're now the high education in my book. Because think about it, those are the ones we need the most.
Yes.
And we start looking at that shift in society, we're going to start seeing a great deal more of these solutions come to the forefront, because
I just want to plant this one seed, because I think the future of grants and money out of angel financing is going to come from foundations, because I think you're going to see the NGOs and government subsidies go away. So I think as long as we can keep continually to give tax breaks for foundations, I think that's where the money's going to come from in the future.
We are currently been approached by Earth Vision with a foundation that has collectively $10 billion to invest in this technology. Because if you look at just one of our purchase orders fulfilling 700,000 pallets, not 1,000, apology, 700 million pallets.
Whoa!
You think about the impact of just deforestation alone, but most of them are made with wood.
Yes.
So we can additionally improve the product by putting a tracker on it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're looking at, just in the pallet industry, what we could do with that. And
Yes.
these people are seriously seeing the bigger picture. The hardest part for me is to get people to see the bigger picture.
Yes.
Because they're all going to be kicking themselves like we all have if we missed out on investing in Google back in the day,
Mhm.
or Amazon back in the day, because this is where we're heading. We have to. Otherwise, our Earth is just going to keep turning into this huge dump.
Yes. I so wish I could have gotten Doug Ivey on. He's the CEO of Earth Vision. He's so enigmatic. It's electric when he speaks. And he's kind of like my brain, but obviously he's had access to money and had a lot of successful business ventures. But we'll get him on next time. I just wanted you to meet.
Hey, thanks, Santa.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
All right, well, we'll talk again. I'll meet you soon.
Yeah, and I'm sending him the document.
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
All right.
Sante. All right.
You know what's wild is when you think about Europe, Europe can't have these big landfills and dumps.
No.
They've
They don't
got
have
to
room.
be, no, they don't have the real estate
Right.
for it.
They have no space.
They have to be smarter.
Right. Yeah. So that's that. I'll send that to you. And there's one other thing I want to talk about.
So
One
are we
last
really
thing.
holding you, you're like hopping in the car and going west right after the show.
Bro, I literally.
Is he going with you?
Yeah, that's my business partner, Chris. He's with, on the description of this, you'll see GoZams. It's a esports and entertainment, global esports and entertainment company. He's a former professional level athlete that kind of got injured, and then he wanted to focus on what's the
Camera
future.
shy today.
Yeah, he's on
That's okay.
he's on some calls. He's always on phone calls to handle different business, based out of Denver and Denver, Las
You
Vegas.
dropping him off or you going?
No, he's
on?
riding with me the whole way to Vegas.
All right.
There's a friend of mine has a $17.5 million house that some developers of bringing the NBA team to Vegas who are trying to buy Circus. They're going to buy her property. She's been talking to Chris for years. She wants him to see it before it gets sold. So he's riding with me out
All
there
right,
for
cool.
that. Yeah, so anyway, I only stayed for you. You know, I was supposed to be gone at 6
Well,
this
it's
morning.
just been a fun show.
It's been a fun show, man. One last thing I'm going to mention.
I got all day.
No, one last thing. Another project that I also have already talked to people about. Is this
I got to take this
Yeah,
one.
take it down.
This is money. Here,
All right, let's put them on.
Hey, Dana Kay, you're live on the Henry McClure live show. Is this a private call or can we talk publicly? Hey, I just like to brag that I know you. Are you got time to come over?
Not today. I just got home from the hospital for a procedure.
Oh, well, then, let's not talk about that live.
Sorry, yeah.
I'll call you back in just a second. We're winding the show down, okay?
Yeah, call me back.
All right, my brother.
All right.
All right. You know, the thing about Dana Kay, if you ask him how you doing, he'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
He'll tell
So
you.
you got to save it
Oh,
for himself.
shit.
No, let's get on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
One day, I got to work early, right? I saw him Saturday at the football game.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, Monday morning, he was going back to L.A., right?
Yeah.
He lived in L.A. back then.
Right.
And I got a call. I called him early, and he picked up the phone, like at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I go, what are you doing? And he goes, well, I'm about ready to go have a procedure. I think I might have had a small heart attack.
No. way.
Yeah, and I go, oh, so you're in the waiting room, right, before surgery? He goes, yeah. And I go, so you're going to make one more deal before you,
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. I mean, and that's real.
God bless
That
you.
is real.
Yeah, that's real. It's real as it gets. Well, me and my friends have a saying. He was on the podcast, Tony Barksdale. Real is rare. And so it really is, and it's getting more and more rare as time goes on. That's why I really only have a core group of like 4 friends.
Well, maybe the Henry McClure live show might catch on because it's real.
So. No, exactly. I hope so.
And it is rare.
Yeah.
We are medium rare today.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind? You had one more thing.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought it back. So there's this pet tech company. I've worked for the last 2 years to build and produce the trade show for this company called Institute, right? And Institute. So what happens is, automatic water feeders, food distributors, it's that, but it's also a database of 200,000 or so database and growing by like 200 every day of why do people buy this food? Where do they take their pet? It's the data behind it. And then it's also the creation of, I believe, don't quote me on this, like insurance for the animals, your loved ones, all of that evolving. So I brought this to someone here in Topeka as well, like, because they're opening a new innovation center, and it's supposed
That's
to
that $9.5 million boondoggle I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what's going on? Okay. And I'm like, well, they may be perfect for that. They've already self-funded, they're profitable, but they want to scale at a faster rate. They're in all the Walmarts, all the Petcos, all the Chewy.coms, everywhere. They're mega. But they're based out of Toronto. Now, I saw that one of the presidents just came back from Canada after a 7-day trip to do business with Canada. And she wanted to know how the tariffs are affecting.
One of the presidents, what do you mean, of their company?
No, the president of the chamber, I believe, Juliet someone. I wrote an email to her.
Like Miss America or something?
No. She's not Miss America.
Wasn't she a model or something?
Was she? Oh,
I
yeah.
think she was a fashion model.
I could see that, yeah.
Well, I could see it too.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
I wrote her an email on the way here, and so I didn't just pop up on her like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about, something you already went to do business with Canada. I have a business that wants to partner with the municipality in an innovation center. They need $4 million. They're willing to give up 25%, and it's already profitable in millions every year. Can we discuss this? I'll be in town. And I heard nothing, but true to form, after I met you for coffee, I went right up there to talk to her. And the loveliest lady that's down in the front office, I bought a t-shirt because of her. She's like, once she heard everything I'm trying to do, well, I'm going to run this up there personally. And I believe her because she has Kansas morals.
Right.
But I still heard nothing back. So I'm like, what happens with the red tape? I don't understand. I'm genuinely like 2 years old. I just want to know what's going on.
Okay, so but here, this is what we've got to do.
Yeah.
We've got to quit going to the government for help.
I see.
You gotta come to entrepreneurs.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because the government's not here to help you.
See, I don't see them as the government. I
government.
I should see them as the government.
Yeah,
okay.
they're the government.
Okay.
And that.
Interesting.
No, but this is a case in point.
Mm-hmm.
This is a case in point.
I needed that shift in what you just said. They are the government.
They are the
Why
government.
Am I going there?
And that's why, she's got her salary.
So not Cody, I keep saying Cody, I'm sorry, Cody. Matthew Pavarnik was not the government. As
He
the head
was
of that,
the government.
So he's technically the government?
Yeah. No, see, here's the thing about it. So the chamber runs on chamber members' donations.
Okay.
Now, to get the exact hierarchy of where the money goes, so I think the Greater Topeka Partnership gets government money, and Go Topeka's all government money. But the point is, the difference between me and Miss America or whatever fashion show she was in is I'm hungry, I get paid, I kill what I eat,
Okay, yeah.
I eat what I kill.
Yeah, that's the nature.
So I live by the deal.
Right.
She lives on a salary.
That's why time.
She's got, Yeah. So I got to make a deal to live.
Gotcha.
And that's why Dana.
I didn't know they had a salary.
Yeah, they live on fat salaries. So Go Topeka, they spend $3.
Is that why you said you're not taking a salary when you're mayor?
Well, the Topeka can't afford a salary. Number one, $40,000 isn't anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's something to someone, but I get what you're saying for sure. Yeah. It's not getting much done in the grand.
Well, you're not going to get 40. You're going to get a much better effort for me is community service,
Gotcha.
because I'm working for the people.
Right.
If
Right.
they don't see it, if the people don't see it,
Yeah.
I just keep making deals.
Yeah, because that's how you're built anyway. Not
Yeah.
to be comfy and sitting
Yeah.
there collecting a salary.
Well,
You're,
look, I'm not gonna spend any money
Mhm.
to get a $40,000 a year job.
yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And you shouldn't have to, if you don't believe in me, here's the thing. If you want change, you vote for me.
Yeah.
No, but I like what just happened a moment ago.
What's that?
A light bulb went on.
No, it did, 100%. I wasn't even looking at them as that because I treat people like people, just a person.
But see-
really, the higher level is I work for the government entity and I get a salary, so oh, interesting. Oh, wow, you've been
But
working.
she doesn't know how to make a deal.
Okay.
And see, I can call up people.
Interesting.
There's a myriad of people that I can call up that can put $4 million into a deal.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, here.
Then it's all just based on the return.
All right, and the returns, it's
Can
healthy.
I make a point now?
Make the point.
Okay, so how many deals come in like you?
Not many.
No, but
Not.
no, I'm saying is, we don't even know how many deals come in.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And don't get,
Oh, a lot. No, I know that for a fact. Because I myself have bought 30 in the last 2 years, to various people in different areas, directly to the Cody and Foster's development team, who's invested in my arm for the things that they're doing. The head of that, because I weaponize my LinkedIn. I know everyone, and it helps me. So because of that, I know Cody's guys. I know their emails. I run them all. I have all the receipts, and no one's been getting back to me. No one. Cody's guy in charge of his 5 foundation. I met with him. I have the selfies. I have the emails. I have the proof. I went to the church that Cody built over off by Gage.
false prophets.
I went to the church. I met with him. He saw me there, wondering what I'm doing in Las Vegas with my business partner, Mars, and said, "Can I meet with you?" I'm like, "Church is about to start. I'm here just for church. We can talk after. Church gets done. So when do you want to meet? Today." And I'm leaving. And then tomorrow I'll meet with Tony Barksdale. Because he's like me here. Did he meet with Tony Barksdale? No. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
Well, see, this
It's just, it's frustrating. But I'm learning. The light bulb going off, realizing it's the government, everything. That's everything to me. I owe you for that. But lastly, the real is rare is the thing I want to touch on last after you say, and I have a
the
point to
real
make.
is rare.
Real is rare is the point I want to make.
Make it.
All right. And this is because I care about you, and I care about everybody, and there's no ego. I'm going to say one thing that happened that because I know we have synergy, and we're going to move forward. I'm giving you opportunity to speak to it because I don't know all the facts. Something had happened. Okay, my dad passes away in my arms 2 days after Christmas. It's been almost 8-9 years ago now. Time flies. I was working with the United Way, helping them raise funds. I got selected to give the speech at the end because everyone was inspired by the work that I'm doing there. But this one day when I was supposed to give a speech, I think to BNSF, my dad, I thought he was just asleep, but he was dying, literally. So my mom screams, you met her. I go in there, I'm giving CPR. No one wants to hear the scream that happens when they say time of death. My mom shrilled, and then she didn't live in the house anymore. So now, fast forward, the company I was working with there was the United Way, and so right after that happened, people found out. I had to tell my sister, everyone's hysterical. My brother-in-law, Darren Verser, he played with me at Holland Park. He picks me up and just takes me out the house to go get some food because I know people are all going to come by and we need to feed them. The first person they take me to see, Henry, is one of my dad's really good friends right down the street across from Family Dollar, Joe McBride. First person. And he broke down, and like I've never seen him cry. This man was like the first person drafted out of this area. He was drafted in the NBA in '76. His son played at Holland Park, went on to play, was in Finland for 30-something years. Chauncey McBride, that's my guy. He tried to get a job at Topeka High coaching. They really wouldn't give it to him, even though it's from Holland Park. But good guys. I've known him for a long time. And then he was staying on some properties that's right around there, right by Family Dollar. And then next thing you know, he's gone and not there. And I'm like, what's going on with that story? And I heard a bunch of stuff, and I didn't want to believe it because I believe what I've experienced with you, which is being a stand-up, straight-up guy. But it really hurt my soul when I saw that he wasn't there, and then I ended up hearing he died. And then I'm like, sometimes when people lose their job or their occupation, or they lose their will to live, or their place where they're staying. And I felt like it was all connected, and it really hurt my feelings. And so I'm like, but I know he didn't do that. Like, Henry seems like a good guy to me.
So you want to hear it?
So I want to hear it.
Real.
Yeah. Because real is rare.
So,
Yeah.
I met Joe McBride in court.
Okay.
And
Joe Sr.?
yeah,
Because he has a son named Joe, too. Yeah.
I met Joe in court.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been living in a property that I had for sale for years.
Okay.
Okay? And it was this land. And when I took the listing on, I told the owner in California that we should evict Joe.
Mhm.
We should give him notice to leave, give him 6 months, give him a year notice, because he had lived there forever.
Okay.
So I said, look, this is going to haunt us later. So let's give him notice that the future of this property doesn't include that house.
Okay.
So I'm just the real estate broker, and the owner is going to do whatever he wants. And that was the worst $300 that guy made in California ever, as time marched on. And it took a long time for me to sell that property, okay? And I don't do property management.
Right. That's not your thing.
No, it's not my thing. But you get guilty by association,
Gotcha.
okay? So in court, Joe says to the judge, he goes, well, I think Henry McClure and the city of Topeka have got a big conflict, and I'm caught in the middle.
Oh, that's what Joe said.
And that was true.
Okay.
And then during the courtroom, one of his sons, the phone went off and the judge kicked him out.
Okay.
And then whoever that fellow was yelled at me on the way out,
Okay.
to the point of threatening me. And then that guy also was outside my window for like 3 or 4 days in different times.
Gotcha. Here?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
where I live.
Oh, where you live. Okay, gotcha.
Well, so now let's go back in time,
Okay.
because this is where it gets real, is that he didn't have water
Oh, I didn't realize that.
for 8 months,
Okay.
okay? So when you don't have a water bill, your house is condemned.
Automatically.
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't realize that. That's
no, but here's what Sylvia Ortiz did to me.
Okay.
She played the race card.
Hmm.
That Henry's doing it because Joe McBride's black.
Oh, okay. Man.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
But look, if he doesn't have, look, the long term, the real estate broker had different plans. But if he doesn't have a water bill and his house is condemned, that's not Henry McClure's fault. I didn't have anything to do with that.
I see. Yeah.
And when I was at court, they said, can you give extra time? The judge kind of told me you're going to give extra time.
Yeah.
And I had like a power of attorney for at that moment, I could speak for the owner. And the judge told me you're going to give extra time. I'm like, yeah, of course we're going to give extra time.
Right. I see.
But I didn't have anything to do personally with the process other than I'm guilty by association as the guy that sold the land.
Gotcha.
And now I don't have anything to do with it today.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I saw the sign was gone.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But
See,
so it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. It really broke my heart because I know his history and everything he's done for different people, and it seems as if, for me, it broke my heart more because the bigger vision of my demographic, what happens oftentimes to the elderly, and the financial planning and the lack of, you're left with nothing, and then for him to go out destitute, and now you're saying with no water, and he meant so much to me, like throughout my life, and my dad and people, it just hurts my heart. And then of course, I saw your sign there, and I'm like, did he kick him out? Like, what's going on? But now I see the context of what you're saying. As a representative of the owner, you kind of have to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm just a broker.
You were stuck in the middle, like the young lady said.
But does that feel real to you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you got the real answer
Well,
after
yeah,
what you know of me?
and that's why I always get the both sides of the story. I don't just come in here throwing stuff. I don't say I'm not getting on Henry McClure Live because this is what happened and sue me. I'd rather hear both sides and then make a decision based
Well,
on that.
so this whole thing was done in the newspaper. In fact, the Capital Journal wrote an article about it because Sylvia kept blaming me.
Yeah,
And that was wrong. This is what I'm telling you something. Old white guys can be discriminated on.
I see. That's what you mean.
No,
when you say
yeah,
that.
so look, it's the old white guy's fault.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
The optics, that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
the old white guy threw the old black guy out,
Interesting.
and it's not true.
Yeah, it's something that people can use for leverage for whatever reason.
Well,
But
because
I just wanted to get my story, and I don't want to act like I didn't know that, because that's not real to me. Like, we used to speak in direct, and even more so direct than this, but of course, we all evolve as we get older. But I always want to have the facts done before action. I think thought before action is most important.
Okay,
Then
but
he
Henry
voted.
McClure wanted to evict Joe from the beginning, but let's give him a year notice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then somewhere during that time, he stopped paying the water bill.
Gotcha.
So
And
the
then
city
that
had
got
to
turned
cut him off.
And then now you're condemned
Well,
right away.
yeah, but here's this is what's the truth.
Mhm.
This is what really needs to be figured out. The forensics
Mhm.
of it. In fact, Sylvia was big about the water bills last night
Oh, okay.
and her people. So maybe I ought to do a core request. After we get off this show, I'll never think of this again.
Mhm.
But I want to say this to Sylvia because you brought it up with Hart.
Right. No, absolutely.
No, you brought it up as a guy that was a mentor, hero.
Yeah.
And how did Henry treat your hero?
Right.
But look, so yes, I wanted to develop that property,
Mhm.
and I wanted to sell it, and it's sold, and it's going to get developed. I pray.
Mhm.
But from the day his water was turned off, there's a certain amount of time that it has to be condemned.
Yeah.
But it was overlooked.
Oh, I see.
It was overlooked by the city.
So they let the time get
The
further.
city, there was hijinks
Mhm.
amongst the system.
Gotcha.
I mean, we could get into code compliance and who literally got involved with this.
No, I know.
Whose fingerprints are on the deal.
Yeah, once you said that, I know. I see the picture of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I always want more information. The older I get, the more mature I get, wisdom comes in. Wisdom plus knowledge is.
I'll make my own mistakes and I'll live up to my own mistakes.
Yeah.
It's such a, it's like Topeka still wants to bring up my alcoholism.
Mhm.
They do. They got to get something on you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. He can't be mayor because he was mean to this old guy.
Well, that's why you have to lead with that, so they can't leverage it against you. Like, hey, I was alcoholic at this and this, but guess what? This is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing lately.
But no, you know something? I was in church the other day,
Mhm.
and Jesus walked around only 40 days showing the holes in his hand, right? It's time for me to get over myself.
Yeah.
I don't owe anybody a drunken resume.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm the Henry that's right here today.
Yeah, I feel you. I just mean to get out ahead of the optics and how they try to use it against you. If you just
It's
admit
too
first. Yeah,
They're going to keep bringing it up
yeah. It is what it
because
is.
they don't want change. They'll lose control.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So do you feel it?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I appreciate you being vulnerable because you could have tap danced around it or whatever with some political type of answer, but I had to see it face to face because honestly, I know it can bring deals that have come through here and been ignored because I'm talking to the government. I had that epiphany. I appreciate that.
But look, what's really crazy, if they didn't know any better, they would think you were a shill for me.
Oh,
For
no.
everything you just said.
No.
About.
If I was, I wouldn't be here talking
No,
about
I
my
got
friend.
it. I got it.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about my friend Joe and his family. Like,
Well,
there's
that
no
was
way-
icing on the cake.
There's no way I'm going to do deals with you if I'm a shill like that.
Yeah, I know, but
I was just being mature and waiting
no, it
to
was
speak about
beautiful
this.
the way the light bulb came on.
Yeah, I'm not.
But that's the way. If I'm mayor,
Mhm.
we'll be having this podcast in my office.
That's interesting. I don't think that. Do mayors do that?
Well, yeah, this one will.
That's.
We can have total transparency.
I'd love to partner with you on that if you are with Landscape Vision. We got a lot of work to do.
We do.
So I'm looking forward to
Well,
it.
this was, I just got a chill. You know
should.
what I mean?
You should.
I just got a chill. I
You
love
know
it.
why you got to chill? Because real is rare, and there's some realness going on.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That was groundbreaking.
Yeah, it really was. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I don't take it.
I
for
love
granted.
you, my
Yeah.
brother.
And next time we'll
now
have
tell
Chris on.
Mom, as soon as I get off this fast,
You want some breakfast? No.
I like an egg, sunny side up.
Yeah. Hey, well, my
You
grandma.
know what I want to make? I
Yeah.
want to learn to make sweet potato pancakes. We were
my
at
grandma
Yard House,
knows. Ooh, yeah.
and I want to learn how to make them with almond flour.
I want those too. All right, when you figure it out, invite me over and I'll come back.
Oh, I'll make
And
them.
my grandma said, "Don't forget, I told Henry I wouldn't need the funding for my invention." You know, she remember we went and
Yes.
breakfast at Denny's one time, and she pitched you the invention. My 92-year-old grandmother that worked at my Highland Park High School alma mater when she was 80-something in the difficult kid office still makes inventions at 92, and she asked Henry for the revenue for that because she knows he does deals.
This is a great show. This has been one of my favorite shows.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Topeka,
The
Top
Joe
City.
Rogan of Topeka right here.
Yeah,
Henry McClure Live.
shout out to Top City, Topeka, all the homies, Jamel, Tony, everybody that we care about here. And
Hey,
those,
and if you homies want to come do a show, let's bring it.
hey, if I didn't mention you, it doesn't mean I don't remember you. You're the fuel that keeps me going wherever I am in the world. I appreciate you.
Keeping it real with Henry McClure Live.
Hey, wait. Feel free to remember, we're all too blessed to be stressed. We're too blessed to be stressed, including Henry.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Now you drive safe.
And we out.